Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, as COVID cases climb and vaccination numbers fall, the nation's largest county, Los Angeles, is turning back the pandemic clock, issuing a new indoor mask mandate for public spaces. Worries intensifying this evening over many states over a new COVID wave breaking against a wall of vaccine hesitancy. The Delta variant spreading far more quickly than anything we've seen here. As we also learned tonight, it will likely be early next year before the FDA expects to approve vaccines for children younger than 12. My conversation with the head of the CDC in just a moment, but first, here's Miguel Almaguer with late developments.
Tonight, Los Angeles, the nation's largest county, taking a step back, requiring masks indoors, even for the vaccinated, effective Sunday. Impacting 10 million people here and breaking with CDC guidance, it's a clear signal concern is growing over the highly contagious Delta variant. Meantime, for some of the 48 million children under 12 and their parents who were hoping to get them vaccinated this fall, a longer wait. The FDA will now review several additional months of safety data, meaning the vaccine for kids won't likely be available until early next year.
It makes it a very stressful time to be a parent, an educator, and a child, and all schools should really have very strong contingency plans. What are the metrics by which we would go back to virtual learning? What will we do to keep children and staff safe?
While more than 4 million children have contracted COVID, less than 2% have been hospitalized, and only a small fraction have died.
But now our nation is bracing for a tidal wave of new infections, as experts fear a new flood of COVID cases is just beginning to grip the country.
We've exceeded last year's peak.
While outbreaks were expected in unvaccinated pockets of the nation, 98 million are still not inoculated. 40 states are seeing a rise in infections. Tonight at Yankee Stadium, positive COVID tests have forced the game against the Red Sox to be postponed. The Delta variant, a serious risk.
It's going to find those pockets in each community where people aren't vaccinated, and it's going to do a lot of damage.
Tonight, that damage being done. And for the unvaccinated, including the youngest Americans, the worst may still be to come. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News.
And with all that in mind, I spoke just a short time ago with Dr. Rochelle Walensky, the director of the CDC. Dr. Walensky, thank you for joining us. We've got the Delta variant, we've got rising infections, we've got dropping vaccination rates. Is this becoming a worst-case scenario?
Unfortunately, no. I think things can still get worse, which is why we are doing everything we can now to make sure that that doesn't happen.
But it is starting to look like you're hitting a brick wall when it comes to vaccinations. Have you identified why those numbers are dropping so quickly?
We knew that this was going to be harder as time went on. Places with low rates of vaccination are actually seeing more disease, and we're really trying to go there now to say, please, we don't want to hit that worst case scenario.
You have been very bullish on the idea of getting kids back in school for the fall. Watching what this Delta variant is doing right now, and the knowledge now that it could be winter time next year before younger kids are eligible for a vaccine, is there any consideration, any scenario in which you might want to reverse yourself on reopening schools?
I remain emphatic that our schools need to open in the fall. They need to open for full in-person learning. We know how to keep our children safe. If they're eligible for vaccination, we can keep them safe by being vaccinated. If they're not eligible for vaccination, we can keep them safe in two important ways. Surround them with people who are vaccinated, and when they go to school, put a mask on.
We hear a lot about people who are partially vaccinated. If you haven't gotten your second shot, your follow-up shot of the Pfizer or Moderna, are you at risk from this Delta variant? At greater risk?
With the Delta variant, you really do need your second shot in order to be better protected. The Pfizer and Moderna vaccines have a dosing schedule of 3 weeks and 4 weeks. But if you miss that dosing schedule, there is no bad time to get your second shot.
Is it time to consider or offer more consideration to masking up even vaccinated people in indoor settings?
These vaccines work. They generally work against the Delta variant in preventing severe hospitalization and death. In terms of masking, those are going to be personal decisions as you engage outside in other activities.
CDC is not recommending people who are fully vaccinated wear masks.
We are not. One actual exception to that I want to just be clear about, and that is if you are immunosuppressed, those people we've always said, please continue to wear a mask and consult your doctor.
What level of concern are you at right now?
I don't like to see our cases rising. We haven't seen this amount of cases for months. I'm very concerned.